The 4 F's, as I know them, are trauma responses. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a disorder that can develop in people who have experienced shocking, scary, or dangerous events. Symptoms can include nightmares, flashbacks, anxiety, and fear. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD, is a disorder where people experience some symptoms of PTSD along with additional symptoms like difficulty controlling emotions, feeling very angry, and even mistrustful of the world at times. Both of these arise due to the deeply distressing trauma or experience that occurred and may be what's causing an over-reliance on survival instincts, sometimes referred to as trauma responses. Universally known as fight or flight syndrome, they are instantly recognisable. But did you know there's others? The 4 F's, as I like to call them, are known as fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. As a CSA survivor, you will have experienced one or more of these on a regular basis. You may even have a specific one that occurs for you or a combination of all 4. This is how it works. The fight response tends to be where you react with anger and aggression. It's underlined by fear, where you face the threat and speak up anyway. The core belief being that if you are able to maintain power over the threat, you'll gain control. Signs of this include actual fights, aggression, throwing things, yelling, and even being argumentative. The flight response is reflected in avoidant behaviour, usually through removing yourself from the threat, even isolating yourself. The core belief being that if you can escape the threat and avoid conflict, then you won't be harmed. Signs of this include running away, avoiding interactions with others, even escaping by staying busy. The freeze response is reflected in feeling frozen and unable to move, or finding yourself spacing out as if you're in a haze or detached from reality. The core belief being that you have reached a point of overwhelm, causing part of the brain to shut down. Signs include being at a loss for words, retreating into your mind, or feeling emotionally or physically numb. The Fawn response, the latest addition to trauma responses, is reflected in adopting people-pleasing and pacifying behaviours. The core belief being that if you prioritise people or that person above all else by doing whatever they want, you can diffuse conflict and receive their approval. Signs include deferring to others, abandoning your own needs, not feeling seen or valued by others. Wow, look at how clever the mind is to protect and keep you from harm. The work it did when you were a child is astounding, and the 4 F's may even have formed a part of who you are and impacted how you interact with the world today. My question to you now is, do you still feel the same need of those responses, the 4 F's? What is your thinking about starting to release them a little at a time? Is it worthwhile to find a different way of coping as you heal more and feel safer in your own skin? If your first thought is it could be time, then this technique will certainly speak to you. The RAIN technique, as it's known, is both simple and effective. This 4-step process requires a quiet space and capacity to reflect. Make sure you have time and be gentle with yourself as you progress through. In the following order, ask yourself these questions and just allow the answers to surface. There is no right or wrong. R, recognise What is going on inside of you? Is it self-defeating thoughts or constant worry? A, acknowledge, accept or allow. Give yourself permission to allow it to be what it is. Don't overthink it. Just allow it. Breathe deeply into it. Do not try to change it or make it better. I, inquire, investigate, deepen into what you are feeling and gently ask what your belief is. E.g., worry you won't have enough money to pay the bills or time to do what you need to. Follow up with a second question, what you need to do and what you most need right now. N, nurture. This is a part where you get to love yourself through this with warmth and compassion. Use words like it's okay, you've been here before, and you always come through okay. I've got you. Allow yourself time to complete this process deeply. Once done, you should feel lighter and less anxious or upset. Please know you can always come back to this RAIN technique anytime, especially if one of the 4 Fs pops in for a visit. This stuff does work. Love and light to all you amazing CSA survivors, and just know angels are watching.